Hello my dears, today we have a challenge question over here. Let's read this challenge question. Show that a square of perimeter 4x plus 20 has an area of x square plus 10x plus 25. What I'm seeing here is a lot of x and x square, a lot of algebraic terms. It's sort of information has been given to us but in a coded form, right? So we have to decode it to be able to proceed forward. In all the show that questions or prove questions, the question always gives you some solid information that you can use, and you always have to find out an expression in the end, moving forward from that beginning point, and that's your end point. So in a way, in prove questions or show questions, they already give you the answer. So they tell you that this is your beginning point, that's where you begin, and that's where you must end, or that's where you finish, or destination, or whatever you call. Yeah. So here our beginning point is perimeter and our destination is area. Now tell me, how do you connect those dots? From perimeter to area, to be able to start here and finish here, what is your route? What sort of a route are you going to take? What sort of a path are you going to take? What is that one thing that connects your perimeter as well as your area? Think about it. Think of this shape and tell me what's the one thing that's common to find perimeter or to calculate area. There's one key information you need to be able to find the perimeter of this square and to be able to find the area of this square. It is side length, right? So you need to find out the side length first, right? So you start with the perimeter that's been given to you, okay? Then you have to find the side length of one side because all sides are same, okay? So if you know one side, you know all the four sides, right? And if you know side length, then you can go length times length or side times side, and that's going to give you the area, okay? So this is the course of action, or this is the pathway. This is the thinking method we are going to be employing to solve this problem, okay? So let's get started. Okay, your beginning point is perimeter. Now, if I look at my perimeter, perimeter is 4 times an unknown number plus 20. Again, it's not helpful because I don't know how much the perimeter exactly is. This x could be a 1. So 4 times 1 plus 20 is going to be 24. But this x could be a 10, which means 40 plus 60 is 40 plus 20 is 60. Or this x could be a negative number as well. Okay, if x is negative 1, that's going to be minus 4 plus 20, which is 16. So this x is complicating everything. So we are not going to get into that sort of a complication. We are going to keep things simple. And how do we do that? We are simply going to assume. So this is my think bubble. I just call it a think bubble. Think bubble helps us simplify things, right? And how do we do that? Let's assume perimeter to be a really simple number, okay? Just keep in mind, perimeter is the addition of all these sides, right? So this side length plus this side length plus this side length plus this side length. Your entire boundary length is your perimeter. So I'm just going to take something very simple like 40. 40 is, if 40 was the perimeter, I'm just assuming it. It's not given in any of the question, but this is going to simplify my strategies, and it's going to give me some sort of a clue of what do I need to do here. So let's assume that perimeter was given to be a 40 units or 40 meters or 40 centimeter. Can you now find out the side length of this square if this square had a perimeter of 40? So what's one side length? So you're definitely going to divide 40 by 4, and your side length would have been 10, right? Because 10 times 4 is 40. Or you simply break 40 down into 10, 10, 10, and 10, right? So each of these sides are 40. And because you know side length, you can find out the area then by timesing 10 and 10, right? So whatever we have done over here, we're just going to apply this method over here as well. So let me switch back to my green pen. So perimeter is 4x plus 20. And my side is just the fourth of it because my side is just one single length, not all 4. So my side length will be 4x plus 20 divided by 4. That's how you write divide by 4 in algebra. You could have written it as divide by 4 as as well, but that's not going to help us solve this expression any further. So whenever you have to do division in algebra, hello, I'm here. So whenever you have to do division in algebra, you always write it in a fraction form. Very rarely, rather I have never seen division written in this way, the primary school way in algebra. So just get used to this thing. Now, how do you actually do the division now? That's the problem. Okay, that's the question. To be able to do division, let's look at the top number, because in the bottom we have a 4. If I have a 4 in the top as well, I can cancel out, right? Just like, I'm just going to add to the think bubble. Just like if you have a 4 times 5 divided by 4, you can cancel out these two 4s, right? Here you can't cancel out these two 4s because it's added with another number. So you got to do something else over here. You have to get the common factor out. So 4x can be written as 4 times x plus 20 has to be written as 4 times 5, so that we have 4 come up as a repeated fraction. Divided by 4, I'm not going to change the denominator, I'm going to keep it as is. So I have simplified every term in the numerator. 4x is 4 times x, 20 is 4 times 5 divided by 5. So I'm not changing much, I'm slowly moving towards where I need to get. And now I'm going to take this common factor 4 out in the numerator, right? And how do you do that? So side length will be 4 is the common factor between x plus 5, because 4 times x is 4x and 4 times 5 is going to give you 20. So that's how you can rewrite this whole thing. So perimeter, that means perimeter can also be written as 4 of x plus 5. Perimeter can also be written as this, because 4 is a common factor, right? 4 times x is 4x, 4 times 5 is 20. Done. And because we are dividing it by 4, now you can simply cancel out these two factors, because that's a common factor, that's a factor, and you can divide. You can't cancel it out at this step because 4x is added with 20. So you can't cancel that out. That's not a common factor. Here it is. So once you have found out your side length, things become really easy for you, right? X plus 5 is your side length. So I'm just going to label it over here, x plus 5. This is your x plus 5 side length. That's also x plus 5. That's also x plus 5. That's also x plus 5. What is going to be your area? So that's our first step done. Let's find out area now. Okay. Area, you know, area of square is side times side. That's a formula. Or if you can't remember this formula, you know, square, length times width. So it's length and width are both same. So you are going to go area is, its length is x plus 5 times its width is also x plus 5. So just rewrite it. Done. Okay. Now look at this carefully. Does it not look like, think bubble again. Okay, your think bubble. And a number times another number. 4 times 4. A number timesing itself is that number squared, right? Or 10 times 10 is 10 squared. So x plus 5 times x plus 5 means x plus 5's squared. All right. How do you solve this expression now? That's going to give you area, but this area does not look like this. That means they have expanded it. This over here, this is sort of a compact written form. This is an exponential form. Here it's an expanded form, and this is where our destination is. This is what our destination is. So we need to reach over here. And how do we do that? We're going to expand it. And how do we expand it? You can do it in two ways. First way is simply multiplying. So look at this thing. X plus 5 times x plus 5. So I'm going to do x plus 5 times x plus 5. I'm going to use this method, array method or array diagram. And how does our array or region diagram works? Again, I'm just going to show you over here. You know how you times 4 times 5 is 4 5s. And how do you do 4 5s? Is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this way it should be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4 times 5. So this way it's 5 and this way it's 4, and the answer is 4 times 5 is 20. right? When you count all these dots, they are 20, we know that, right? So I'm just doing the same thing. I've written my one number this way, another number this way, and I'm just going to plot it here in an array diagram sort of a thing. So let's do it. X plus 5, x plus 5. In this box, gonna go x times x, and we are multiplying, right? So multiplication sign, x times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. That's a positive number, that's also a positive number, so it's going to be a positive number as well. Let's look over here. X times 5 is 5x, positive number of course, that's positive, that's also positive. Here is positive 5 and positive 5, so 5 times 5 is 25 with a positive sign, right? And now you're going to add up all these numbers. And how are you going to add up? Look at this, x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. Whenever you add or subtract algebraic terms with unknowns, you have to take care of like terms. Now x squared and 5x are not like terms. That's a square number and that's a length. This signifies a square shape and this signifies a length. That's like 5 times 4 and this is 4 times 4. So they are different. You can't add them together. So that's an x term. Let's take x term and x term together, and these two are your like terms. I'm just going to rewrite it if that simplifies things for you. I'm going to rewrite it over here. X squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. Okay, these two are x terms. So you have 5x and 5x, so you got 10 lot of x. Okay, 10 of this number. X squared is completely different number, and so is 25. So we're going to keep them as is, and this looks exactly like that expression. So that's your expression for area, and we have proved that area of the square is x squared plus 10x plus 25. There is another method of solving this as well. Let me take you back to the whole thing again, and let me show you one little different way of approaching it. So let's get started again with our perimeter. Okay, and you should look at this. You should watch this video another minute or 30 seconds, because I'm going to show you a simpler way of this if this looks so too complicated. If your perimeter is 4x plus 20 and you need to find side length, what you do is simply you just redistribute 4x, or you just unpack or chunk it down. So chunk down 4x as x, 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 so it's 4x, and chunk down 20 as 5, 5, 5, 5, so that's your 4 different sides, right? So that's each of your side looks like this. So you've simply broken it down into simpler numbers. So 4x has 4 separate x, that means each of these side has an x in it, and then 20 means each of the side has a 5 with it, because 5 times 4 is 20. You could have done it this way and still your side length comes out to be same number, right? And from there you find the area this way, and then you multiply. Now there's two methods for multiplying as well. One is the method that I've shown you, this is the simpler method, and another method is by applying identity. So suppose you have to multiply, so I'm just going to show you over here. How do you multiply x plus 5 times x plus 5? Use a bracket. Or let's say x plus 5 squared. You're going to use a algebraic identity. Algebraic identity of first number plus second number squared is first number squared plus second number squared plus 2 times first number times second number. So that's a sort of a formula or algebraic identity that you can remember. Whenever you have two numbers added together with a square, you're going to square the first number, square the second number, and double a times b, double first number times second number, right? If you do apply this over here, you can directly find out the multiplication. You don't have to do the whole plotting and all. So let's apply that over here straight away. The first number squared is x squared plus second number squared is 25, because 5 squared is 25, plus double of first number times second number, first number times second number, which is x squared. I'm just going to rewrite this whole thing. X squared plus 25 plus 5 times 2, 2 times 5 is 10, x, that's your area. So this expression is also exactly like that. It's x squared plus 10x plus 25, x squared plus 25 plus 10x. Doesn't matter. You can switch these two around because in addition, the order doesn't matter. You can write it in any order. Yeah, x squared plus 25 or 25 plus x squared plus 10x. Whichever order you write, it's the same thing. So here are two ways. This sort of a problem can be solved in 2 steps. There are further multiple ways possible for solving such questions as well, which we can discuss maybe next time in another question. Well, do let me know if there are any questions. Pop it on Google Classroom, email, or ask in the class, but do pay attention to this and go through every step again. Let me know if I could help further. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Bye-bye.